And I've got some really good feedback going on. Hi, Fight Club, and welcome to Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to see all these beautiful faces.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Fight Club for Business. We're the show for home service business owners looking to improve their marketing, finances, system, and culture. We're a team of self-employed industry experts, and we're joined this week by our guest, Gosia. We're so excited to have you with us. Do you mind just giving the listeners just a brief rundown of yourself and your business?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies. My name is Gosia Baran. I am in a very, very cold Chicago. It's a high of 3 degrees today. Yes. I own Helping Hands Cleaning Services, and we've been in business for 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. And we do commercial, residential, primarily residential. We are 21% commercial, but it's been great.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to chat with you about how marketing's kind of evolved over these years for you. So thank you so much, Gosia, for joining us. My name is Taylor Maroney, and I co-own a pressure washing company in South Florida with my husband. And I've worked in marketing for about 6 years, where I found my passion for helping business owners understand the. I think we have some feedback. Understand the analytics behind their numbers and how to go about making sure they're making smart marketing decisions on their marketing plans from those numbers. So super excited to have you with us today, and welcome back to Fight Club, everyone.
And good morning. I'm Megan Likes, and I'm the founder of Bookkeeping Academy Online, and I'm in Phoenix getting ready for Responsicon with Martha Woodward.
With Martha! Hi!
And we are not smart enough to figure out how to not make it have feedback. So sorry about that. We're going to just on the same computer screen. I'm the founder of Bookkeeping Academy Online. My passion is educating and empowering small business owners to know their numbers so that they can live more financially rewarding lives. I also own Likes Accounting Company, a full service accounting firm, and I have a window cleaning and gutter cleaning company with my husband, Jeff, in sunny California. And I cannot imagine it being 3 degrees. I just went for a walk and it was like 75 degrees and sunny here in beautiful Arizona. So I
can't hear that. I cannot hear that.
Just come. You're coming like in a couple of weeks. Just come and you can defrost or thaw or something. So, welcome to Fight Club.
Hey there, Gosia. Nice to see you again. I'm Michelle Myers, co-owner of Pink Collars. My husband's on his way to Phoenix to see you girls and keep you in line. So he's on his way. I miss you guys. You guys are going to have a lot of fun with him this week at Responsicon. And we put customer service rock stars in your home service business. So if you need help with the phones and emails and texts and all of that communication that comes at you as a business owner, Pink Collars can absolutely stand in the gap and help you manage all of that stuff. So welcome, Gosia, to Fight Club. I'm excited to talk to you about multiple locations today. That's what we're going to talk about. So cool.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And I'm Martha Woodward. I am a former owner of a maid service and co-founder of Quality Driven Software. And I help people build happier workplaces. So welcome to Fight Club. Thank you, Gosia, for accepting to be our guest today. And you don't know what's in for you yet, but you will soon. And I'll be good. I'll be good.
I've got my coffee with Bailey's, so I'm all good.
Awesome.
Why didn't we think of that?
Our kind of girl.
Wow. I love that.
Well, I feel really
jealous. Totally jealous.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm going to steal you first, Gosia. And 20 years in business. First of all, congratulations. That's fantastic. And I love talking to business owners who've been in business for an extended period of time about how marketing has changed and how marketing in their business has evolved. Because every, X amount of years, new types of marketing techniques come out. There's ways to go about marketing your business. So what's maybe something that you did in the beginning of your business that you may or may not be doing now marketing wise?
Oh dear. So funny story. When I started my business, I was cleaning by myself. I started this by myself. And so I started with, of course, flyers. I was putting flyers. This is a funny story. I started after 9/11 around Thanksgiving. So I said to my friend, I said, hey, can you come and help me? We'll go to the mall. It's the busiest day. Everybody's at the mall. Let's put flyers behind on the windshield of every car. So in Chicago in November, it's cold. So, we are walking, putting the flyers in. And like 4 hours later, I already had a cell phone. My husband calls me and he's like, hey, we got a call from the police. You're not supposed to do that. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. My advertising, my marketing plan out the door, right? But that was the one time. The other thing that we used to do that we don't do anymore. My husband, again, I lost my job. We have no money. I'm starting the cleaning business. And I said, hey, I need to advertise. So of course I'm going for all these BNI meetings and all the meetings. And there was a rep for Fun Book, Yellow Book, right? And he sells me advertising Yellow Book for $2,000 a month.
Oh no.
We got to do this. And he is like, are you kidding me? $2,000 a month? I'm like, yeah. And it's a contract, right? For 12 months. The book comes out for a whole year.
Yeah.
So did that. We made it.
Wow.
We made it.
You made it. And this is the part that I love talking about, because we tend to forget the old habits that we did when we were marketing, like the way we all started initially. And it really shows the transition of your marketing to ways you've adapted those similar tactics to potentially what you're doing now. So what are some of the ways that you go about marketing now? Do you have, any type of advertising running on Google? Are you working really more on the commercial side? I know you said a lot of commercial is where some of your work is versus residential. How does it kind of divide up for the business right now?
So right now because we are in commercial and residential and two different things. And we are also in disinfecting. RJ Patel from PCT is my business partner. And so we are doing that.
I said, happy birthday, RJ.
Oh, happy birthday.
I'm not sure if he's listening or not, but happy birthday, RJ. But as far as the residential, prior to 2020, we were doing a lot of Google ads.
Okay.
That was the primary focus. Google ads worked beautifully. Then 2020 happened, all of that changed, right? So you constantly, it changes from month to month what we do. And at this moment, pretty much since last May, I have stopped all my advertising because the employee market has been a nightmare. So we had to shift all of our money that was allocated for marketing for customers. Now it's marketing for employees.
Okay, so I want to dissect this a little bit, because I've heard a lot of industries who do go into homes. Once COVID did hit, this was something that they did very similar. They had to shift funds to other places, pull back from marketing, because people were in a state of fear and not really knowing what the unexpected was and what was going to be happening. So they really didn't want people coming into their homes. So when you made that shift, obviously you still have some form of marketing going, whether it's free from referrals, it's free from, having discount codes that you have your clients give out to, their friends and family. What's a way that you still keep new business coming in, even though you're not putting marketing dollars into your marketing budget?
So at this moment, even though we are not spending a penny on Google ads, our website is really, really working. We are getting clients. I do have a full-time salesperson, and she is still working leads. We are getting leads. The one thing that I have learned somewhere in one of my conferences that I go to, that it's really important to have blogs. And before you would have one blog a month. Then said, have a blog every 2 weeks. Now you need to have a blog we have a blog going twice a week. And I believe that blogging and SEO that my marketing company is doing, it's really, really making the leads come. because we are not spending a penny, and we are getting about 200 leads a month right now.
Wow, that is fantastic.
And we don't even want the leads.
Like, hold on, we need to pump the brakes. Too many.
No, because we are constantly, it breaks my heart that we constantly keep telling our clients, sorry, we are booked. But
well, let's talk briefly, because I only have a little amount of time left. So blogging, this is something that has been on the rise again, and you are correct. It was a once a month, then it was every 2 weeks, and now it is coming to more of a bi-weekly sequence. And it is, the process behind blogging is really to allow your customers to do 3 things: know, like, and trust you. Those are the 3 things you're accomplishing through this blog, and you're giving them education as well on the business and the services that you provide. So could you just give us just a brief example of one blog that you guys have posted this past month? Or am I putting you on the spot?
Good question.
Market Pros does it.
I honestly don't know, because I have a company that is fully doing that, and
Yeah, I like that answer. That's a good answer still.
I
That's a
cannot
great
tell you.
answer.
So I have a company that does my blogging, so I really don't know.
Awesome.
Hey,
What
Hats off to you that you don't have to be blogging twice.
I don't want to be doing that.
No, not at all.
I love it. I feel like I'm on Family Feud, because that was a good answer. Very good answer. Good answer. So I'm all about allocating that off, and Michelle talks about it with delegating with systems and things.
It's all about delegating.
So it's all about the delegation. So what I'll do is I'll kind of pull some research while you're chatting with the other ladies, and kind of throw an example of your blog up.
I will tell you, as long as I'm getting the leads, it's working, right?
It's working.
It is. It's working. It's working. That's all you need.
Right.
So just to recap briefly, because I'm going to get the hook. Gosia went from doing traditional marketing, like we talked about 20 years ago, which was yellow pages and flyers and type of door-to-door type sales situations, to then when she got to COVID, prior to COVID, she was doing a lot of Google AdWords, which is a lot of what businesses do tend to hold strong on for their marketing. But then COVID hit, and that was not the key for her. So she made the transition into really heavily working on her SEO and blogs, and that's now bringing in her 200, on average leads a month, which is fantastic. So there's so many different ways you can go about marketing and really refining your budget. And I know Megan loves to talk about the budget side of things. So I feel like this is a perfect transition to hand you off to Megan, Gosia. And I really appreciate your time with me. And I'm going to go look for that blog right now.
Okay.
Good morning. I am the note taker, so that's why I'm frantically tapping over here. I love this idea that we can kind of choose our own destiny with how many leads we're getting in. And it sounds like that's something that you've been really thoughtful about in your business. And so I want to ask you you can choose. I have 2 things that I'd like to talk to you about. One is, how do you determine which clients you're going to service when you're short-staffed? Like, are you analytical about those client relationships, especially when we're going through a labor shortage like we just have? Or the second one is, I was showing Martha our goal setting sheet last night for Jeff Likes Clean Windows. And it's the first time I've been really thoughtful in advance about like, how many leads do I want or do I need to generate the sales and the production that I need to hit my financial goals. And so I thought maybe you could talk to us a little bit about that strategy planning session for you that happens every year. So which of those makes your heart sing a little bit more? Which one do you get more excited about talking about?
We can definitely talk about a strategy and how we go about choosing the leads that are our ideal leads.
Okay. So if you can kind of go through that process, is it an annual process? Is it a quarterly process? Is it a monthly process? And when do you start that? Like, when's the first time you start thinking about like, how's our funnel looking?
Right. So we do quarterly strategic planning. We just did ours on Saturday. So we are really looking closely at where our goals, where do we want to be? How, what's the number of clients? What's the revenue number of clients? How many employees do we need? How many trainers we need, right? So everything has to match together. Obviously, these days, because of where we are, the economy, COVID, so many people are in this Omicron right now happening. We are being very, very selective as far as the type of leads or the type of clients that we want. So, we are looking for the ideal client. Who is our ideal client? And then my salesperson will go after that ideal client. Right now, we talk every single week. We have a meeting on Wednesday morning with our entire office team, and we discuss, okay, where were we last week? How was last week? How do we want to position ourselves for the next week?
So before we went live, you mentioned that you have 9 openings in your company right now. Are those?
We need to hire 9 people.
So if you're in the Chicago area and you're interested in working for an awesome company, she's hiring. This is your free recruiting ad. So how do you even have sales and leads discussions when you have? I'm assuming those are 9 cleaner positions, or
correct.
Yeah. So you're short staffed by 9 people, and you still have a funnel from your SEO coming in. So do you have openings in your schedule, or are you queuing up a waiting list? Or are you selling to your existing?
We are queuing up a waiting list. We are entering every single client, every single lead into our database, because I am telling my team, guys, this is not going to be like this forever. We need to have we need to have a bank full of leads for the bad times, because how long can this go like this? It's not going to. So we are still working the leads. We are putting them into our CRM software and still accepting them. Do we have openings? We do have 2 specialized teams that do nothing but deep cleans and one-time jobs, big jobs. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 teams. So if those teams have openings, we do take those clients. Those are big ticket numbers, right?
Right.
As far as repeat clients, we don't necessarily have many openings unless somebody cancels. And also, we did a price increase across the board. We sent out over 600 increases. We increased everybody 10% or more. And we lost a few clients. I believe we have lost 8 clients, if I'm not mistaken.
Out of 600.
It's not bad.
Right. And so we're seeing, we're seeing inflation right now trending at 7% as an average, which means in some places it's more. So you went ahead and so if you're listening to this and you haven't raised your prices by at least 10% in the past 12 months, you're actually behind. There's money coming out of your pocket that is due to the economy. And by raising them 10%, you're saying that you had about a 1% loss rate.
Oh my gosh.
It's like people just didn't even blink.
No.
I love the wait list idea. I love the idea of curating your list. I love that you're raising your prices on your existing clients. Have you used this as a chance? Like, I know with call-offs, especially with Omicron, I just feel like it's so contagious and so many people are getting it. Have you had a chance to kind of reorganize schedules in terms of which clients you service and where and which techs are doing them? Like, has it been a bit of a reorganization for you and your company?
So we have been doing teams, but now we are really shifting more towards solo cleaners. We have 20 company cars, so we need to kind of utilize those cars. And we do have big homes, so we will still be doing teams. But we are shifting more towards solo cleaners and pulling all the smaller houses, anything 4 hours and under, to solo cleaners, so we can have more productivity. We can squeeze more jobs, because one cleaner will do 2 houses a day versus 2 cleaners will do sometimes 3 houses a day because of the travel time. So we are trying to really optimize our routes where the cleaners live, because of where we are in the Chicagoland area. The traffic is ridiculous sometimes. So we are optimizing where the technicians live and really doing zones and really trying to optimize, as creating the most efficiency out of the jobs.
I love that. I just think that that's so brilliant. I think that for the past 2 years as business owners have hit all of these struggles, right? Like first it was we couldn't go in homes, and then it was we were going in homes, but it wasn't safe. And then it was nobody wanted us in their homes. And then it was we couldn't get any staff to go in home. Like I feel like it's just constantly this, like, I don't know, I feel like a game of Frogger before we get killed or something. And every time there's been that challenge, every time there's been this like difficulty, I've tried to take it in my business. It sounds like you absolutely have too. Take it as an opportunity to just restructure it to serve you better. Because now we all know we're not making any money when we're driving between jobs. And you have a long list of clients to service. And what's the best and most economic way and efficient way to do that? I'm sure Martha's really excited to talk to you about the culture part. So I'm going to stay away from that, especially because she can actually hit me today. She's like right next to me. And I think we're headed down a systems discussion. So I think it's a good opportunity to pass you to Michelle to talk about, like, how do you keep that all organized? How do you structure that? And I just, before I pass, I just want to, for the listeners, leave this as a chance, like, now's a great time to mix things up. You don't have to keep doing things the way you've been doing it. She's been in business for 20 years, and she's changing the whole business model from teams to solos to serve her and ultimately serve her clients in a better way. So I think that's fantastic. All right.
Love it.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. Gosia, so you came from the corporate world, and so do I. We have very similar stories. We started our business because we were parents of young children. I love when a corporate person steps into business ownership because I feel like we bring a lot of those tools with us when we come. When you started your business, it was clearly hard scrabble and you climbed your way. What things have you brought sort of from your corporate memory to your business that help you every day in terms of systematizing it? Because like most people would be very scared. It's their source of income. To restructure something is a little bit scary, but it happens in the corporate world all the time, right? People get pink slips, people get moved to different departments, and that happens a lot. So tell me how you bring that sort of knowledge into your business and how that's helped you with this restructuring that we hear is happening.
Right. So when it comes to, the corporate world, I wasn't nothing fancy, nothing big. I was just an accounts payable clerk. So it was not a big, dream job.
Accounts payable is really fun. I was an accounts payable.
Good. I was going to say, finance is everything.
However, I worked for a very large law firm that had multiple locations, and it was, when I was working there, it was like, wow, this is amazing. They have a department, they have a person delegated for everything. There was a system. There was AR, AP, HR, everything, every department, and a person was delegated to that particular job. And when I started my company, that was my dream. That was my vision to, this is what I would like to have one day. Yeah. And we have that. We do have it. I'm really proud of my team. I'm so blessed. They are all amazing. We have AR, we have HR, we have salesperson, scheduler. So it's really, everybody has their own delegated job.
Their own role.
Have really implemented the different jobs.
And what I find, at least in our business, I find that when you let people own their role and that's their job and that's what they're responsible for, you get so much more out of them because they feel like it's theirs. They get a sense of ownership. Whereas when you're small and you have the person answering the phones, doing the bookkeeping and doing the scheduling and doing the hiring, and it's just that person's pulled in many directions, it's really hard to scale. So kudos for you for getting to that point where you could have all those departments.
And believe me, I was there where I was doing everything. Then I hired this person that was doing half and half, right? We were sharing, but everybody always owned their own thing.
I get it. I totally get it. So when you said something that I'm going to key in on, you said different locations in your law firm. So you probably took that little piece of information and applied it to your business as well. I see that you're not only in Illinois, but you're in Texas. How did that happen? That's a little bit of a commute. Explain that to me.
I love to travel. So why not?
Just get on a plane to go to work. Why not? So tell me how you ended up in Texas.
So I will be honest with you guys. I started that last January. I got that idea. Actually, I take it back. I got that idea back in October of 2020. And I went to visit Sharon Timberg. I went for her birthday, surprised her for her birthday. And I have never been to Texas. I've never been to Austin. And I fell in love with the city. Like, wow, this is beautiful here.
Aww.
And my salesperson lives there. I have a salesperson that has been with me for 3 years now. She actually lives in Austin. And she was looking for, she was always like, perhaps, let's say making more money or looking for an advancement. So I said, hey, Carrie, what do you think if we open an office here? And she said, sure, let's do it. So we did that back in January. We started, our first client, we got on the first client back in March. March 1st, that's when we launched the business. Let me tell you, that was a long time to open a business remotely.
I can imagine.
Employee shortage was a hell. So it was just a nightmare. So we did that for about 3 months. And I was like, you know what? We need to put that on pause right now. Yeah. So we are still getting calls, but I'm hoping that we are getting more employees. I'm hoping to restart that office again in this upcoming year.
I love that. And I love the fact that your salesperson had the hustle enough to say, yeah, let's do it. I mean, that's a great attitude. And everybody should have in their business people that are smarter, faster, sometimes even younger, and more awesome than us as owners, because it really brings a new vibe into your business. And I love that. So working with your salesperson remotely, as you know, all of our teams are remote. Tell me what systems you're using to kind of keep connected to this person. What was her name? Carrie?
Carrie. Mm-hmm.
Carrie, okay. Tell me how you're connecting with her and how she's kind of running your business from afar, because that's pretty cool.
So we have 4 people here in Chicago in our office here. She's there. Technology is a beautiful thing these days.
It is.
So we have voice over the internet. Her phone is there. We are using Made Central now.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
It's working great, and she answers the calls. We have a chat line here with the team here, and Google Sheets work great too. So, and of course, our weekly calls are as a team. We meet on Zoom with her, and it's great. It works amazing. So.
Well, it sounds like you've got it all dialed in, and you're just talking about people, which is a perfect transition for me to hand you over to Martha, and she'll talk to you about your people and culture. Thanks so much, Gosia. It was very helpful.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. Hey, first I want to tell you all a funny story about, you were talking about the flyers and getting a call from the police. Early days, I was a scrapper too, and my kids were around 9 to 11, I think, about that time. And anyway, I had printed off 1,200 door hangers, and they had like a time-sensitive offer on them. And I had my kids get friends, and anyway, we had a van. I loaded up these kids in the van. And man, we were hitting the neighborhoods, and, I would drop them off on, like 2 of them off on one street. They were supposed to each hit sides and blah, blah, blah. I had a system. And I tell you what, I lost them for a moment.
Martha!
These streets were like all over the place in the neighborhood, and I was panicking. I did locate them, and it was in the summer.
Oh, wow.
Hot. And so I'm pulling this in to say that was probably my first pay for performance system within the maid service, because what happened is the kids were just dragging. They were, who knows how many miles they had walked, in the like 100-degree heat. So they're dragging, and I'm looking at this stack that needs to be delivered still. So I was like, okay, you guys can quit now and I will pay you this. Or we can finish this stack and then you'll get paid this. Plus, I will take you to Target and let you redeem your money right now, and then we're going to have a swim party. You know, it was like my first pay for performance, and you better believe they knocked it out.
I love it. I love it.
It was funny. Okay, so for people, I want to talk about your management structure, and not everybody has a real, I hate to say system because I'm stepping on Michelle's toes, but
I'm good.
I love the weekly stat meetings. I've always been a very big fan of the weekly stat meetings, and I know how I do it. I'd love to hear how you do your Wednesday meetings, and like, do they have to get numbers in a spreadsheet prior to the meeting, or you can explain a little bit of the process? People would love to hear that.
Yes. So we have a full agenda. I prepare this the day before and I share with everybody. And we discuss, they have to share a positive thought. Everybody has a minute to share a positive thought from the week. Then we go through our vision, mission, and values and the purpose. And then we discuss about what we have achieved last week, what were the goals, and if everybody met their goals. And then we go through our weekly scorecard. And then the weekly scorecard, they have to record, every department has to record their numbers. So we want to see the trend that we're going up with everything, not everything, but let's say cancellations, we want to see down, discounts. So we track many, many things. I love numbers. I'm not good with numbers. I'm horrible with numbers, but I have an accountant that works with us here at the office. And I always say numbers don't lie. So if there is a hiccup, we will see. So we really, really have to pay attention to our numbers. So that's why everybody has to report on their numbers and their goals. And then we set our goal for the week, what everybody has to work on. So
Elizabeth's asking if you follow EOS.
Yes. Yes. So we actually did our traction meeting. We do traction. We just did our quarterly traction meeting, and we love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. I saw that Renee O'Brien came to you and facilitated the meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's better if somebody else facilitates the meeting versus me doing this, because right. I am part of the team. So we can all discuss. And plus, Renee has been working with my team for about 3 years now. Mm-hmm. She has her calls weekly or every 2 week calls with every department. And she's absolutely amazing. So I love how, she facilitated the entire process. And then everybody has their goals again set for the next 90 days.
Yeah.
I work with Renee too. Thanks, Martha.
We're fans for sure. And I know you also work with Sharon Timberg, and she's awesome too.
Yep.
So do you do any type of pay for performance with your management staff?
With my management staff is on a profit sharing program. Okay. So every quarter they earn a profit sharing. They earn a commission or percentage of the growth. Yeah. So that's how they are motivated. And everybody has a job, and I explained it's eight of them. 8 of them on the team for the profit sharing program, a bonus, I should say. And if the salesperson doesn't sell, if the recruiter doesn't recruit, if the sales doesn't sell, if the schedule doesn't book right, everybody has a job that has to work together. And of course, the field managers, if they don't pay attention to the quality, we will be losing clients. So that everybody understands what's their role and how they affect, how their job affects that next person. And that really works really well. So they earn pretty great bonus at the end of each quarter. They are super motivated by that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So even though that's profit sharing, I still consider that, a form of pay for performance, because there is, I mean, that's all it is just creating that incentive reward
Right.
for exceeding the threshold. So
I mean, if they perform, if the office, when they as they run the show, if they all perform, they benefit from that.
yeah, exactly.
And then if we exceed our goal, we have a special treat. We have a fancy dinner. We go to a spa, or now we are hitting a goal, quite aggressive goal for next year. For end of 2022, we want to grow 45%.
Oh, wow.
It will happen. Last year we grew 27%. So they did that. I'm sure they can do it again this year. Especially we hired a full-time recruiter. So she's recruiting people for us, staff. So I know we can do it. And we said, okay, we will have a full weekend getaway. If we get that 45%, we will go to Michigan for wine tasting. So they are all pumped up. So
that's awesome.
Great.
I love that. And so take that in, you guys. It's really, yes, we develop a lot of systems around bonuses and their financial rewards, but take in what she's saying, in that she's also incentivizing them and rewarding, thanking them with an experience. And I think that's huge. It's just huge. And it is, you're doing things with your team that maybe they've never done and they probably wouldn't do on their own. And it's such a team builder. So kudos, you're building a great team, and you're going to hit that goal. That's awesome.
Last year, our goal was 20%. We did 27. So we did, we are actually going to do a full day in the spa. They don't do that for themselves. They cannot, they don't want to spend the money, on a spa and treating. So that's what we are planning on doing as a reward, because they have overachieved, right?
Mm-hmm.
The goal, surpassed the goal. So now, because it's bigger, I told them the next one, it was going to be Hawaii. So
wow.
When we hit 5 million, there will be Hawaii forever.
Okay. And a reminder to our listeners, she's hiring. So,
right.
Trip to Hawaii, 9 open spots.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'll wrap it up, but I do want to say that Gosia and RJ are presenting a session at the Quality Driven Conference. For any of you listening, it's for all service businesses. So we would love to see you there. A lot of us will be there, and can't wait to see you in San Diego. It's not very long.
Yes, you cannot wait to be there and get away from Chicago.
February 22nd through February 27th, and in sunny San Diego, and awesome speakers are lined up. Fun, amazing race, luau. What else are we doing? We've got
80s welcome party.
I love how we
Do you have all your costumes? You have to have, you don't have to have, but 80s night, there's the luau. I've got a great costume for John and I. And then the amazing race, which I'm kind of a crazy fan about, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys need to join us.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Tay, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Awesome. Well, Gosia, at this point in the show, we go ahead and assign some accountabilities or homework for the week for our listeners, just to make sure they're putting into action what they listened to today on the show with you. So you can feel free to add some homework at the end. We'll kind of go around first so you can get a feel for how it works. And just a reminder to our listeners that please only choose one piece of homework this week. We only want you to really work on one task. that's going to move the needle forward in your business. And then we do have the accountability group that allows you to ask questions, work with other business owners to make sure you're accomplishing that goal. So marketing homework, I want you guys to take a look at your marketing budget that you most likely went ahead and should have done end of December last year for this upcoming year. And I want you to take a look at maybe what you can remove to be able to replace with something that might be of a lower financial cost and still get a very similar benefit. Talking with Gosia, she was able to, remove Google Ads from her campaigns and be able to really focus on SEO and blogging to still produce an average of 200 leads a month. So there's so many different ways that we can go about solving one problem. And, the problem we're talking about here is lead flow. So take a look at your marketing budget, take a look at where you're spending your money right now, and really see if there's a creative way that you can take, a look outside the box to be able to still bring in that same amount of leads with potentially spending a little less money.
I love it. I'm actually going to piggyback a little bit. Gosia, I just like how you do this planning it sounds like every week and every quarter. I've been doing a lot of it lately for Jeff Likes Clean Windows, and I've been actually helping a couple of other window cleaning companies do it. And they're always shocked when I tell them, so set your goal and figure out what your average ticket is. This doesn't work as well for maid service because you have recurring revenue, but for single ticket items, it works really well. So set your goal, figure out what your average ticket is, and see how many clients you need, right? And then when you increase your average ticket, either through bundling your services or raising your prices, watch how the number of clients goes down. And we figured out, I think Tay's been helping me a lot, that if we can get more recurring service in our business, or if we can get higher average tickets in our business, we can actually cut our client list by 3/4 to 4/5 and still make the same amount of income. And I think we'll have happier and stickier relationships. So I love that, Gosia, you switched to single man teams for your smaller jobs. You're really thinking creatively and outside the box. So your challenge this week for your finance homework is don't do it the way you've always done it. Don't just service the same clients because you've been servicing them for 20 years. Really be thoughtful about who should you be servicing, how should you be servicing them, and is there opportunity in your business to do it a little bit differently, whether that's changing your team structure or changing the frequency or changing the bundles that you're doing with your current teams. So that was a lot of finance homework. But
if I can add one more thing to this. Let me tell you one thing. We have residential and commercial. Residential is commercial is 21%. Residential is 79%, right? Mm-hmm. Right now we have about 690 clients total. Only 59 clients are commercial, and they are making 21% of revenue.
Wow.
Add on to your resident. If you have a residential or you have a lawn, just add on another service, something that and you can do a free advertising to all of your residential clients.
Mm-hmm.
Send out an email. Those people already trust you. Those people, you are already at their home. They already trust you. Many of them own businesses or work somewhere. And commercial business is a beautiful thing to add on.
That was such a beautiful
homework. I love it.
It's good homework. And so just to rehash, using your existing customer list to launch a new service, and then being really thoughtful. We say that, that 80-20 rule, I think you just gave us a great example of how that works in your business. Mm-hmm. And just being aware of where your money's coming from, right? You don't have to do it the way you've always done it.
Right.
Okay. Awesome finance homework. Go ahead, Michelle.
And Gosia, for those of us who don't like numbers either, because I'm in your team with that, numbers kind of freak me out every once in a while. I would love everybody to look at their drive time with their crews. If you have 2-man crews, 3-man crews, trucks, single person crews, how you look at those, and look at the drive time and the efficiency and see how you can work on capacity this week. Because Gosia's showing us that she's going to be able to actually strategically shrink her overhead and her drive time and all of that outgoing expense for her team members by just looking at that capacity number. So understanding how to squeeze that capacity down, I think, is something that everybody could take a few minutes to do. And January is a perfect time to do it because it's the beginning of the year. So look at that capacity this year. That's what my homework for today. Thanks so much.
All right. And I'm going to say to get creative with your management incentives. Okay. So here's the thing. Many of you are probably listening thinking, I don't have a management team. It's just me.
Mhm.
I just was saying this in the Culture First group that, so many people are kind of burnt out and they're just COVID, lack of staffing, blah, 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 blah. It's a tough time. And I was just saying in that group that, listen, even if you are a management team of one, we still need to approach it the same way. So you, in Renee O'Brien time blocking fashion, she's always trying to get me to time block. You should time block a meeting with yourself. I mean, have a regular management meeting, even if you're a team of one. And this is what I was really encouraging in the group, is that you still need to set up goals, incentives for yourself. And if you have a management team, great. And incorporate in the reward. All right. So even if it's for yourself, you need to be focused and you need to treat yourself, because there is that dopamine release when you do that. I mean, there's an actual chemical shift when you reward yourself. So you need to get that practice started. And I love that you do that with your team, and it's so cool. And then if you have any homework, Gosia, you can assign homework now, or you can say, yeah, everything's covered. So whatever you want to do.
And homework for me.
Yep. Well, homework that you want to assign, you get to be the teacher and assign homework if you want.
And sometimes you can assign homework that you want to do, right? You're like, oh, I feel inspired.
Well, yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Truly encourage everyone looking at numbers. Look at your numbers, because really this is, and I would also, that's something I've learned from Renee in 2010 when we started working together. We created a spreadsheet and we track revenue for each single year, each month, each year. So I have a history from 2010, and I see the numbers going up. And when the numbers go down, I digest what happened. What change do we have? So I really encourage everybody to really have a very close look at numbers on like a spreadsheet. It is incredibly powerful to understand how your business is performing. If I did not have that, I would not, in 2016, I would not know my salesperson that I currently had was not good at what she was doing. But the numbers showed. So it's all in numbers.
I'm going to add to that just a little bit. I was doing some strategic planning with another business last weekend. I helped them kind of come up with their plan, and it was really fun to show them where they were 5 years ago, because the team had kind of a hard year, and they were, feeling a little frustrated, and things, just weren't really going the way they wanted. But when you're able to like take a step back and look at the growth over 5 years, it's really inspiring. And I notice it can drive energy and it can drive enthusiasm. Like, I mean, it feels hard right now, but look how far we've come. Look at all that we've accomplished. So that's a great reminder.
And I'm very transparent with my team, my office team, management team. And I showed this for the 10 years, right? Almost 11 now. And they were like, oh my God, this is
wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really inspiring.
That's great. Sarah Mitchell said that this was so inspiring. So thank you, Gosia. And Sarah, you'll get more of it at San Diego. She'll be there.
And Sarah, we're in Phoenix. We're just like we're next to you
come
right
see
now.
us
Come
at
say hi.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, and we got quote of
Thank
the
you,
week.
ladies.
Yeah.
Tay,
And
how do
we're-
we?
Gosia.
Yeah, how do we get a hold of you, Gosia? We're going to ask you that next.
Yes. If anyone has any questions, anything, please do not hesitate to call me. My number, you can put my number in the chat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid for you. Are you sure?
website. Website's good. Email's fine.
I will tell you, I do have block also for what I do when I do things. So
Yeah.
I'll put you in my block on Fridays. That's my day of like, okay, I am free. That's my day that I don't do anything. I don't schedule anything. So
I love that.
three numbers.
Brave.
If anyone wants to write it down, 630-967-4999. Or find us, Helping Hands Cleaning Services, Elmhurst. And you can just call my office and someone will pass the message to me.
That's awesome. The hotline, the Gosia hotline.
That's right.
I love it.
I'm
Okay,
here to help.
I love it. And we always finish with a quote of the day. And so this week's quote is from Warren Bennis. And he says, in life, change is inevitable. In business, change is vital. So I loved that one. It fit for today. Thank you so much, Gosia, for joining us. We had a great time with you. And everybody stay warm out there, especially you two in Phoenix. And have a great week, everybody. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
everyone.
See you next week.
Go
It's
fight.
7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern.